Hello everyone, Jo here from Shalima Health Retreat, and I've got another amazingly delicious breakfast. Now I have to say that out of all the breakfasts, because I am hands up a confessed breakfast lover, this would have to be my favourite. It's Bircher Muesli, and it's a little bit different to what you might have had, what you might have made at home or had out for breakfast at one of the cafes. This is a very delicious, very healthy version of Bircher Muesli. Of course, being plant-based, there's no dairy, and all of the food we're using today is whole foods, so there's no refined sugars, no refined oils. It's all just the plant food as God gave us and intended for us to enjoy. So let's have a look at what this recipe entails. So the first thing that we've done here is I've gone and soaked overnight 2 cups of rolled oats in 2 cups of plant-based milk. I've used soy milk. You could use oat milk, almond milk, whatever milk that you like. Plant-based, meaning it doesn't have all of the cholesterol, all of the saturated fat that the milk has from dairy. Also, it's a lot more gentle on the gut because dairy contains, things in it like lactose and other things that are difficult for us to digest. As my mentor always said, cow's milk is for baby cows. So I've also soaked the sultanas. It's going to give us some sweetness because I like them to be nice and plump and juicy. So I've soaked that as well overnight with the oats, and that's 2 cups of sultanas. All right, now what else do we have? Look at this beautiful array here. So next thing we're going to add is 2 cups of shredded coconut. Now I mentioned before in one of the previous videos that I get shredded coconut from Honest to Goodness. It's by far the best shredded coconut that's out there. It's no additives, no preservatives. And it really tastes amazing. You really, really will notice the difference between this and the supermarket bought shredded coconut. So we want 2 cups over there. Now, with the dried apricots, they might look a little bit different to what you're used to seeing them. Normally they're bright orange, and that's because they've been sprayed with sulfur. So these dried apricots are preservative-free, sulfur-free, and simply just dried. And this is what they look like when they've been dried. They don't look bright orange. So we've got 2 cups of dried apricots that I've just chopped up. I get mine from Woolworths. They're quite cheap. There you can also get them from Honest to Goodness as well. So yeah, I would encourage you to try these. They're a very different flavour, a very delicious flavour, quite caramel type flavour. But yeah, very, very healthy. Dried nuts are a fantastic, dried almonds. Let me repeat that. I'm getting myself confused. Dried apricots are a fantastic source of iron. So yeah, definitely include those in your diet if you find yourself a little bit low in iron. Next, we've got some slithered almonds. Now, you could use any nuts in these or a combination of nuts. Just make sure they're raw. Raw nuts, no added salt, no oven baked. You can pop them in the oven a little bit before you put this recipe together. To give it that extra crunch and enhance the flavour, but you don't need to do that. So 2 cups of slithered almonds. And as you can see, this recipe is coming together nicely. You don't have to make this quantity. It does make a large amount. You could halve it if you don't have many people living at home. So yeah, but it does keep nicely in the fridge for up to 5 days. So yeah, I can guarantee it probably won't last that long. So next we're going to have pepitas. We've got a cup of pepitas, pumpkin seeds, fantastic source of zinc. So we're going to add those, and it's really good to have as many different colours as possible in your recipe. And we've certainly achieved that today. Now, with regards to fruit, you can use any fruit that's in season. I'm using strawberries, which I've just chopped up, and that's 2 punnets of strawberries. That's going to go in there. We don't want to waste any. Okay, what else do we have here? We have delicious blueberries, frozen. You could use fresh. Now, when it comes to blueberries, this is the brand I buy, Elgin. where I get them from, it's actually slightly cheaper than the organic supermarket blueberries. So I would recommend organic when it comes to berries. It doesn't have to be, but if you can, try and source organic blueberries. Elgin is a fantastic brand. As I said, cheaper than supermarkets, and the quality is amazing. Costco as well is another good one for berries. You can go there and get their organic range, and that's very economical as well. All right, so 2 cups of blueberries. And what are blueberries good for? Well, they have that amazing antioxidant called anthocyanin, and anthocyanins are fantastic for the brain. You can find them in any of the deep purple and deep blue foods. So foods like blackberries, eggplant, the berries we've got here, the blueberries, anything that's got that rich bluey purpley hue has the anthocyanin, which is fantastic for brain health, which is just what we want for breakfast, isn't it, to get us going in the morning. And here I've just blended up 4 apples, and we're going to add that. Of course, we know this saying, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. And speaking of that, I do get questioned from time to time, you know, it's very expensive with things like the nuts, the berries. Sometimes, you know, buy good quality fruit and veg can be a bit on the pricey side. And I think people sometimes can find that a bit of a deterrent to eating a whole food plant-based diet. But what I would say to people that share that with me is that what you're doing by eating this way is investing in your health. I'm 59 years old, and I am very happy to say that I don't have any health issues. I don't have any medications. My cholesterol is fantastic. Blood pressure is very good. My blood sugars are fine. And I'm not saying that to boast. I'm saying that as a way to explain that when we eat the way God designed us to eat, which is all laid out in the Bible, when he told us that he's given us all of the plant foods to eat, that is his ideal diet for us, that when we eat that way, we really do enjoy better health. Now, I'm not saying it's the be all and end all, because I know there are other factors that come into play. And food is just one element of God's healthy lifestyle for us. But I strongly believe, and people who I know who advocate a whole food plant-based diet, that we enjoy the benefits from it. And we want to share with you what those benefits are, so that you too can not only prevent these lifestyle diseases like high blood pressure, diabetes, obesity, heart disease, stroke, certain cancers, not only prevent those, but also recover from those, because there are many studies out there that have shown how people can recover when we treat our bodies the way God intended for us. So it's a real blessing to eat this way. You certainly are not losing out on taste, I can guarantee it. This is an example of that. So we're just going to mix all of this together, and then what we're going to do next is, normally, you know, Bircher Muesli would have like a creaminess to it. You might add some yogurt or some cream, dairy cream. But what we're going to do with this recipe is we're going to make it rich and creamy using just cashews, raw cashews, and water. So all we do with that is we need 1.5 cups of raw cashews into the Thermomix, and 2 cups of water. And we just want to blend that all up. So let's do that now. Okay, so we've just blended up our cashews and water, which makes a beautiful cream. Cashews, when you start eating plant-based foods, are going to be your best friend in the kitchen, because they add so much creaminess and they replace that dairy cream. And they're not filled with as I said before, the high cholesterol and the high saturated fat. These are healthy fats in the cashew. And so we're just going to pour all of that over our Bircher Muesli mixture to give it that beautiful creamy texture and flavour. And as I said, this is my favourite breakfast recipe, but when we serve this to friends, family, people that come to our cooking classes, they love this, absolutely love it. They cannot believe how good plant-based food can taste. And so we just want to mix all of that up. And as I was explaining before, when it comes to the cost of certain plant foods, it's an investment in our health, because we're either going to pay upfront when we pay for these sorts of foods, or we're going to pay for medicines, we're going to pay for doctor's visits, we're going to pay for specialist visits and things like that. So I would really encourage you to consider including more plant-based meals in your diet, and see how good you feel when you do. Okay, let's serve that up now. So look at that. Very yummy, very creamy, very colourful. All of that fresh fruit, and we're going to top it off with a banana, because really no breakfast is complete without banana, is it? I have a friend who says, the ad on TV used to say, "What, no potato?" And he says, "What, no banana?" If there's no banana at the breakfast table. So just for that little bit extra creaminess, plus all the good potassium and everything else that we get in our bananas. So here is our delicious Bircher muesli topped with fresh banana.